Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me today is our dear friend Holly Keris, who is the Chief Curator at the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens. And we're going to be talking about the latest exhibition. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
So tell me about the latest exhibition.
We are thrilled to be hosting an exhibition called Buddha and Shiva, Lotus and Dragon. It is a collection that was assembled by Mr. and Mrs. John D. Rockefeller III and subsequently given to the Asia Society in New York City.
Oh my goodness. So this is opening, I believe, on June the 25th.
Correct.
And one of the interesting things about it is that you've got a lot of things linked with the Asian world. Is that correct?
Yes. When we say, Asian art, we really mean the totality of Asian cultures are represented in this exhibition, which is one of the things that's so exciting. So when the Rockefellers were assembling their collection, they did so with a real intent to make sure that the plethora of cultures were being represented. So in the exhibition, you'll see works as early as the 6th century BC.
Oh my
We
goodness.
have a 6th century BC bronze footed serving dish, all the way through the early years of the 19th century. And it's metalwork, it's stonework, it's ceramics, it's porcelain, and it represents China, Japan, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal. I mean, it really is, it's incredibly comprehensive in 60 objects.
That's fascinating. Now, is it true that Nina Cummer was actually assembling her collection at the same time?
It's basically the same time. Mrs. Cummer was collecting in the 40s and 50s, and the Rockefellers started collecting just after World War II, moving through the Korean War, the Vietnam War. So when you think about that in context, what was happening in the world, for the Rockefellers to decide they wanted to assemble a collection of Asian art at that particular moment is really remarkable. But one of their guiding principles behind the collection was they recognized, following these massive global events, that we were now going to be a global society. There was no longer going to be the option to say, well, whatever happens somewhere far away from me doesn't impact me. So they wanted to use art as a tool to create shared understanding and shared experiences.
When you think about it, it's a long time ago. It was a very forward-thinking.
Very forward-thinking.
Yeah.
Very forward-thinking. This idea that how could you bring people who were spatially distant from you into something that felt more familiar, and they recognized the power of an object to be able to bridge that gap.
How long is the exhibition running for?
It's here all summer, so there's
fantastic.
Plenty of time to come see it.
And are there any other events that are being linked with the exhibition through the Cummer?
Well, absolutely. We love to have some programs. So we've got a wonderful slate of programs, everything from yoga and meditation through tea ceremonies, some Asian cocktail crafting classes that people will be able to experience, and then some art making opportunities as well. So some lotus candle holders and things like that.
Oh, this is fantastic. How do people find out about all of this? Because I know that there's a lot of people that, perhaps aren't members of the Cummer.
Right.
How do they find out about the classes?
The best way to find out about everything that we're doing is on our website. It's www.cummermuseum.org.
Now, this exhibition assisted in creating meaningful cross-culture dialogue, given our country's current climate. How do you think it's going to be for the people that go to see it?
One of the things that the Cummer takes very seriously is our role to be able to connect people over the platform of art, and especially people who are curious and who want to learn something about themselves, but also learn about things they might not be familiar with. So with this particular exhibition, we assembled a community advisory group of leaders from the Asian population here in Jacksonville. And one of the things that we really talked about was this opportunity to to experience other cultures and hear other stories. So one of the things we're really excited about is we're going to be hosting an evening with Weave Tales, the organization that supports refugees.
Mm-hmm.
And there are going to be immigrants from Asian countries that night sharing their stories with the audience.
Fascinating. I think this is wonderful. Now, the exhibition, obviously, you've had a great part in curating. Do you have a favorite piece?
Oh, it's always like picking your favorite child.
I know.
What we've done with this particular exhibition is we've divided into 3 rooms of materials, and I could say I could probably pick my favorite within each room.
Okay.
But there are so many things that are just remarkable, from not quite life-size, but almost life-size Cambodian freestanding figures. There are some truly remarkable porcelains, including some of the earliest works that were signed by Japanese ceramicists in the 1500s. The glazing work on them is absolutely beautiful. We have some objects that were also likely made for the Emperor and Empress of China, because they feature the dragon clutching the pearl on the ceramics. So there's so much to see.
This does sound absolutely remarkable. Now you're continuing through the summer to do your Friday night.
Summer at the Cummer, yes.
Summer at the Cummer.
Yes.
Will people be able to get into the exhibition at the same time?
Absolutely. Come for a picnic on a Friday night, book it in advance, come in and see the show, enjoy some music and nibbles. It's a great end of the work week, date night, kick off the weekend moment.
And the difference is now that actually you don't even have to bring your picnic, because the Cummer is preparing a pre-order, yes. And there it is. Holly, thank you for coming in and talking about the exhibition. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute smash, and I can't wait to see it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can go onto the Cummer website, but also you can find it on iwannabuzz.com.